Hey there, Harry Potter fans. I'm Nancy Basile with Plus Size Nerd, and today I am talking about Wizards Unite! Woo! The new augmented reality app game from Niantic, the same company that brought us Pokemon Go! Woo! I'm going to be sharing tips and tricks and some strategies and some ways to get more energy and get more coins and all kinds of fun stuff. So before I get started, if this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button and ding that bell so that you will be notified every time I go live and when I post new videos. So if you're interested in more plus size clothing try-on videos or just great fun chats about geek entertainment, subscribe and you will get more. All right, that's enough of that music because I won't be able to talk. So I am here to talk about Wizards Unite, and if you're anything like me, you have been waiting a very long time for this game to come out. When the previous game came out, Hogwarts Mystery, I was excited, but when I found out about this game, that one kind of lost all interest for me because there is nothing like walking through the real world and encountering creatures and characters and things from Harry Potter and just living inside that world. That's like my favorite part. So I went to IGN and I'm basing a lot of what I'm saying off their wiki. IGN is my go-to when it comes to game wikis. I don't know about you. They have it all. So if I will put a link to that wiki in the comments when I'm all done with the video. It'll show up a little bit later. That way, if you want to go and look around for more specific things, or if you want to take a deeper dive into some of it, then you can. But I'm just going to cover some stuff that I found really helpful and then throw in my 2 cents here and there. And I also want to show you my new t-shirt. Look, it's a take on Hard Rock Cafe, but it's Hogwarts. I wish you could go to a Hard Rock Cafe and have it be Hogwarts. That would rock. All right. So here are some things you need to do first before you do anything else and get started with the game. So if you haven't started with the game, these are the things you're going to do first. You're going to fill out your ministry ID. Now, you don't necessarily want to do this without thinking about it because you do have some choices to make. You have to choose a name and you have to choose a profession. You have to choose what kind of wand you're going to use. They didn't have all the wand choices that I wanted. I wanted to choose reed wood for my wand because that's the kind I bought at the Wizarding World at Universal Studios Orlando. I chose reed because it was for wordsmiths like myself. I am a writer, and that was supposed to be good for writers. So that's why I chose it, but they didn't have that option in Wizards Unite. I was pretty ticked off about that, but they have all kinds of other woods. So one of the things you can do is look up one of your favorite characters, see what kind of wand they have, what's in the center of their wand, and kind of take it from there. My witch name is Hepzibah Witch. I chose Hepzibah because it's my favorite name in all the books. And I chose Witch as my last name because I couldn't really think of a really good last name that would fit. So you want to fill out your ID. It looks really cool. It looks like kind of like a passport. Then you get to take a selfie. They have all kinds of awesome filters. I change my ID picture pretty much daily because as you level up, more things become available like any other game. You're going to show. You're also going to choose a house. So I'm Gryffindor, and wand I mentioned, and then you'll start seeing some other fun stuff pop up that go with your ID. The other things you're going to start to encounter right away are some creatures. It seems like the Care of Magical Creatures category of achievements is easier to rank up in than the other ones because maybe it's just where I'm playing, but I'm running into a lot of magical creatures. I'm catching a lot of what are called confoundables or busting them or whatever what you want to call it. I'm returning foundables by busting the confoundables. A lot of mine tend to be Care of Magical Creatures. I'm up to level 9. I have some friends who are higher. I have some friends who are lower. I'm really hoping I can level up more this weekend. I did not have nearly enough time this week to play like I wanted to. So what are some basic things? You get to make sure that you identify where the inns are in your area. I'm very lucky. I have 3 that are not even a quarter of a mile away from me. I don't know what that is in kilometers for you UK people. When you go to an inn, you can recharge your energy, and you expend energy every time you use a spell, whether you're casting a spell to bust up a confoundable, or you're casting a spell to fight an enemy, or you're casting a spell to grow your plants more in greenhouses. Whatever energy you expend, you use it up. But inns are one of the ways you can get more energy, because you can eat food there. Also be on the lookout for fortresses or castles. I'm not sure what they call it. I called it a fortress, but that's where you do battle. And then also greenhouses, as I mentioned, where you can grow things. I'm super lucky. I live right next door to a park. And so a lot of this stuff is super close to me. And after yeah, it is called a fortress. The fortresses I found to be very challenging in the beginning. You might want to level up a little bit before you head there, just so you don't, use up a lot of your magic energy, your wand energy for no reason if you can't beat the enemy, because you work your way up the fortress. Okay. The number one frustration I have, I need a little sip. The number one frustration I have, and you probably have also, is how quickly your wand energy depletes and how difficult it is to replenish. I know they want to make money. I know they want us to spend money to buy more energy. I get it. I get it. But in other games, it is much easier to replenish that which you lose. Even in Pokemon Go, I felt that getting more Pokeballs was much easier than it is to get more energy. To get more energy, you have to, as I said, go to an inn and you eat, and it's random what you're going to eat. You might eat Honeyduke's candy, you might eat chocolate, you might eat every flavor beans, you might eat a full course meal. Depending on what you eat, and it's given to you randomly, you get energy. So the bigger the meal, the more energy. So if you drink pumpkin juice, guess what? You get like 2 or 3 energy. It's nothing. So then, yes, the inn replenishes 5 minutes, but I don't really want to sit at an inn for half an hour and wait. I guess you could. That's one of the ways. Another way is to go to one of the greenhouses. Every time you enter a greenhouse, you're given 3 pots. It's kind of the con game, the shell game there, and you pick one, and depending on what you pick, you might get ingredients, you might get seeds, or you might get energy. That's another way to do it, but again, it's random. Another way to get energy that's a little more controlled is to complete wizarding challenges, or to complete your daily achievements, and that can be found in the little checkmark registry box. When you complete those, then you get more energy. And when you level up, sometimes you get more energy. But you have to work really hard, I feel, to replenish that energy compared to how quickly you can spend it, casting spells and battling. It's very frustrating to me. I will admit, I caved today, and I bought the very first package that they've offered. I think it's called the Calamity package or something. And I bought Spectre Specs, and I got coins, and I got a ton of energy because it was $5. I always start out these kinds of games saying, I'm not going to spend any money. I'm not going to spend any money. And then there comes that low point where I'm like so close to something else, or I've just tasted something from the next level and I've got to have it. So I ended up spending my $5 and I got a whole bunch of stuff. So now I feel rich. I'm like spending coins like crazy and buying potion ingredients, and I've got all this energy, and it's awesome. When it came to professions, I chose to be a professor just because I'm all about education. I was truly a nerd in school. I was that person. You can also be an auror, or you can be, oh my gosh, a care of magical creatures person, I think. I'm pretty sure. Those are the only 3 you can choose from. Also, I feel that's limited. What about magical law enforcement? What about a proprietor of, what about a wand maker? I understand they can't have them all, but I chose to be a professor. And then you start taking lessons as a professor, and the lessons aren't really you taking lessons. When you complete tasks or earn achievements, then you get more parchments and you can take more lessons. And the more lessons you take, the better you get in your profession and the stronger you are in combat and in catching confoundables, stuff like that. Dark detectors. Now, I didn't understand these at first at all, and now I'm so psyched about them that I want to go out and like do a bunch. Dark detectors. It looks like Mad-Eye Moody's eye when they put it in Umbridge's door. They're essentially like Pokemon Go lures, if you're familiar with those. When you place a dark detector at an inn, I think maybe at a greenhouse. I think I planted one at a greenhouse. Hang out, don't leave. I made the huge mistake of putting a dark detector there because I didn't understand what they were, what I was doing, and then going on my merry way to catch more stuff. I should have stayed put because for 30 minutes, then you get more things popping up, traces they call them, than you would have otherwise. So you might get more dark type magic creatures showing up, or more enemies to fight than you would if the lore wasn't there. So if you plant a lore, don't leave like I did, like some kind of buffoon. There are runes in the fortress that determine how difficult the enemy is that you're fighting. When you go to your runes, you can see where you are in all the categories and levels, and it will tell you like, this enemy is this level, you should probably get this rune. This enemy is this level, you should probably use these runes. And if you are familiar at all with fighting at a Pokemon Go gym, then you will know exactly what I'm talking about. You pick up ingredients along the way, you brew potions from your vault. All those are pretty self-explanatory. Port keys, dude. So there's these things called portmanteaus, and I don't understand why there isn't just a plain old port key sitting out for you to collect, but there's not. They're in these triangular looking portmanteaus, they're called, and they pop up and you just tap on it to collect it like you would a potion ingredient. But inside is apparently a port key. But to open the port key, then you have to have keys, and those you earn as you bust up confoundables and fight enemies at the fortress, etc., etc. And once you insert the key into the portmanteau, hi, Laura, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Once you insert the key into the portmanteau, then you have to walk a certain distance to unlock it. Dude, I put my key in like day one. It took probably 4 days for me because I don't have a lot of time to go walking. Now, if you live in a city and you're just walking, or you live anywhere other than America pretty much, and you're walking all the time, it's going to happen a lot more quickly for you. Or if you live in like New York where you're walking all the time. I have to make an effort. I have to like schedule it to actually go walk far enough to make this happen. So it took me 3 or 4 days because I had to go 5 kilometers to open the port key. Some of them are 10 kilometers. And I imagine the more difficult the port key is to open, the further you have to walk. That's my guess. So I finally got it open last night, and it was so worth it. So worth it. Keep walking, people, because what happened was I tapped the port key and a square came up on my screen and it said, place that square somewhere. So I placed it, happened to be in my living room. Outside might have been more fun, but I put it in the living room, and then it shows a portal. It's like a window to another place. And the other place was Borgin and Burke's. Oh my God, which was my favorite store in Nocturne Alley / Diagon Alley. So you literally like physically have to walk through the portal to get to the other place. And I did. And when you get to the other place, there's stuff there that you can't get back in your place. It was awesome. It was awesome. And I want it to happen more. So now I'm like all about the port keys. I'm all about the lures, all the things that like I was like la 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 about before. Now I'm all about it. The other thing is when you go through a portal with a port key, you do have the opportunity to possibly get more energy on the other side. That is also random, so don't count on it, but that is another way. Oddities are marked by a purple wand casting spell symbol, and it's a good idea to be aware of them before tapping on them. They will often require several casts and may impact your health. So an oddity, you usually have to battle, just like you battle things in the fortress. So yes, you might use up a lot of energy getting them, but some of them are very much worth it because of how much you level up. And like you can could just constantly be brewing potions that will help you with your spell casting. That's what I do. I mean, I'm a potion fiend. I'm happy to use up my potions because it also uses up ingredients, which opens up room in my vault. I have run out of space in my vault many times. I'm not going to pay gold coins to make that vault bigger, though. I suspect at some point I'm going to have to. If there's only one thing you focus on when you start playing Wizards Unite, focus on doing your daily tasks. It's a list. When you click on your little check mark registry, first thing you see is your daily tasks. If you focus on those every day, you will automatically do all these other things that I'm talking about. And within this story, of course, there's a story. There's a mystery about Penelope somebody and Guy somebody, or Fox somebody. Sorry. And as you go along and you find clues, naturally, you find out a little bit more of the story. I was bummed that the actual actors and actresses aren't doing their voices. It kind of sounds like Daniel Radcliffe, and maybe it is. I'd have to look that up, but it's definitely not Emma Watson as Hermione. I was a little bummed. But you mainly deal with a different character from the Ministry. You don't really deal day to day with a character that you're familiar with already. And I must say, you do encounter characters from the wizarding world and creatures from the wizarding world. And so far, my favorite encounter has been, I don't have a favorite encounter. I've encountered Hagrid, Dementors, Ginny, Tonks, Ron, Snape. Maybe that was my favorite one. Bellatrix. But, I would like to encounter Harry. He's my favorite, but he might be towards the end. So I mentioned the vault. This is the vault guide. It's all the ways to manage your vault. The only way I've managed mine so far is when I build up a ton of stuff and I need more space. Like I had something like 30 bottles of honey water. I would delete like 10 of them to be able to pick up some other ingredient that I really wanted to make another potion. So your vault, you can either pay money to make it bigger, or you can use up those ingredients in a potion, or you can just flat out delete them. I wish you could sell them. In Pokemon Go, there were things that you could use to exchange for something else in order to evolve your Pokemon. I wish you could sell some of the stuff in your vault, not necessarily to get the same same amount of money that you would pay if you bought it from the store, but at least something, because I think that would make it a lot easier to get energy. But again, they want to make money. They want you to pay for it. Code names. Now, this I wasn't aware about till I saw this guide. Code names in Wizards Unite are basically usernames. Once a name has been picked, it cannot be used by anyone else. So no one else can be Hepzibah Witch, for instance. Who can see the code name? When you're playing, there are certain areas of the map where nearby players will be able to see your code name on the map. I have not encountered that yet, but I am not in a highly populated area, and I am certainly not in an area where a ton of Harry Potter fans are. I stand out like a sore thumb. You have no idea. I think I'm probably the only grown-up playing this that I know. But if you live in a major metropolitan area, you will probably see other code names. Anyone who sends or receives a friend request with you will also be able to see your code name. I have put my friend code here. Feel free to invite me to be your friend. I've said yes to everyone because I can't tell unless your code name is pretty close to like your username on something else. I have no idea who you are. But what are you going to do to me if you're some creepy person? So I don't mind. I will friend you. And also, by the way, you level up when you get 20 friends. When you interact at fortresses to raid and take on challenges, your name will be displayed. That's much like the Pokemon Go gym. And Niantic has cautioned players to consider the impact their chosen code names. You'll maybe often be able to meet players face to face. Choose responsibly. So what, my code name's going to somehow throw somebody off? I'm not sure. You can change your code name if you have to. All of those guides that I just kind of very quickly went through are available at the IGN Wiki, which again, after this is all done, and I will link to down here. I'm having a blast with it. My favorite thing so far has definitely been going through the portal with the port key. That was, I mean, that's kind of like a Harry Potter fan come true. Dude, if I get to use a port key and on the other side is Hogwarts, or 3 broomsticks, oh my God, or Diagon Alley, I'm so excited. That's my favorite part so far. I've seen the Vanishing Cabinet. I've seen some creepy horned serpents. There's so much to encounter. So if you're a Harry Potter fan at all, I'm sorry if you don't have the kind of phone that can do this, but if you do, please go play. It's so, so fun. You don't have to, be an expert. If I can do it, trust me, as my daughter says, if I can do it, anyone can do it. All right, guys, that's it for me. I hope that you took some tips and tricks from this that maybe will help you build up energy and build up coins. Focus on those daily tasks in your registry, the little check mark box. And anytime you see that red dot, tap where the red dot is, because then you'll see what you just earned. And it's so much fun. All right. Before I go, I want to mention that June's giveaway for people who subscribe to my email list is this t-shirt in 2XL. It is the topiaries from Edward Scissorhands from Think Geek, which is closing down. Thank you. But it's 2XL. If you're on my email list, you are automatically entered into the giveaway. You can sign up for my email list at plussizenerd.com/newsletter or plussizenerd.com/magazine. But please note, if you get an email from Nancy Basile, please confirm your email address or you won't be on the email. I get a lot of bots signing up for my email newsletter, and it's it's a pain. So you have to confirm your email address. Heads up. All right, guys, be sure to subscribe so you know next time I go live. I will not be here next week because it's July 4th, but I will be back the following week, and we can talk about Spider-Man. All right. Ciao, plus size nerds.